Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us tonight for this wonderful exhibition that's called Wisdom of Kinship. I would like to express my gratitude also at Artist Network for all the board member and all the education also. It took us a lot of time to be able to do this exhibition, and the kinship and the relationship that has been working with me and Artist Network and the gallery down here. What you have to understand, we had a wonderful jury, and I would like to say again a great Thanksgiving to Natalie Burton. She's a curator, and she's a knowledge, not keeper, but how do we say that? A keeper, a knowledge keeper, sorry. And Natalie is a very well-known artist, very successful. She's a multidisciplinary artist all over Canada, and I would like to express my gratitude for her for team working with me in this wonderful exhibition. Tonight we have a great schedule. We will have a chance to meet some of our artists. You will have a chance to meet some of the artists also online, and 30% of the amount that will be taken will go to the Woodland for donation also. We will have Janice that will come and speak to us and show all the service also that they are offering. I will invite also Catherine to do the land acknowledgement.
So Artist Network and Leslie Grove Gallery acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat people. These territories are the enduring home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that we are hosted on land covered by the Covenant, or the Treaty 13, held by the Mississaugas of the Credit. Toronto is subject to the Dish with One Spoon covenant, which bound the Anishinaabe, the Mississauga, Haudenosaunee peoples to peacefully share and protect the lands of the Great Lakes. In this spirit, in the spirit of this covenant, we are grateful to be able to meet, create, and grow together in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect on this ancestral land. Thank you. Here, passing back to Diane.
Thank you, Catherine. Just want to run again that 30% of the profit of the sale are going to the Woodland Center. We have a donation box here in the gallery that also will collect the money to go to the Woodland Center. I'm going to pass on to Natalie to have a conversation with Janice from the Woodland Center, and then we will come back to the gallery after.
Miigwech Diane, Anin Wanabujo everyone, Magwa Nankwe, Minwa, Natalie, Indigenous, Toronto and Dunjiba, Wawashkesh and Dudan. Hello, bonjour, my name is Natalie Burton, je m'appelle Natalie Burton. I'm originally from Toronto and I'm now living north of the city. And I'm a multidisciplinary artist, Métis knowledge holder, and guest curator of this wonderful exhibition that we're viewing tonight. Before we get talking to the artists, though, I'd like to introduce you to Janice Montour, who is the executive director of the Woodland Cultural Center. The Woodland Cultural Center is an important place that is bringing arts, culture, and education in a relevant setting. So Janice, welcome, and would love to hear what you would love to share with us about the Cultural Center. Thank you.
Nawagoa, Sego Sogwego, Gahon Dr. Yungats, Gnekahaga, Niwago, and Jonto, Anawala, Nuigito Lonto. My Mohawk name is Gahon Dukta. My English name, of course, is Janice Montour. I'm Mohawk Nation Trill Clan from Six Nations, and I'm very happy to be here with you all. The Woodland Cultural Center is in our 49th year of operations. We opened in 1972, 2 years after the Mohawk Institute Residential School closed. Woodland now has reclaimed the space of the residential school, so the dormitory, the classrooms, and the gymnasium now make up our research library, our language department, museum, galleries, and administrative offices. We see usually in not a COVID year, thousands of visitors through our spaces to understand our stories, our current realities, and to understand how the past sort of impacts our present. And we do that through a number of exhibitions we offer each year, contemporary arts, but as well as historical exhibitions or community stories that we tell. We represent 3 First Nations, so 6 Nations of the Grand River, Wata Mohawks, and Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte. And yeah, we're, obviously right now, very busy, very overwhelmed with a number of inquiries and requests and people just seeking out more information about what we do and about the history of the residential school. So the school itself is not open yet. We are going into another construction phase. Our community overwhelmingly supported the restoration of the school so that we could tell the survivor stories as children who attended these atrocious institutions. And we will be hoping to reopen to the public in 2024 as an interpretive heritage space, along with offering our programming through our museum and galleries as well. We offer a lot of language and cultural workshops, and we work very hard to strive for language revitalization and the transmission of traditional knowledge from one generation to the next.
Wow, that's awesome. How powerful is that, though, to be able to take back a space that was the center of so much harm and so much historical abuses, and to reclaim it and own it and turn it into something absolutely powerful. I love also that the survivors are there, the elders. They're now the elders, and who are participating in helping the team guide that. That's so incredibly important. We hear about decolonizing spaces a lot, especially in museums and galleries and cultural settings. How do you think that fits in with the Woodland Cultural Center?
Well, I guess for us, it's a little bit different. Our narrative is very different. We tell our stories and present our artists as told through our point of view, and through the artist's point of view. And, really sort of taking back the layers of misinformation that has been present for so long, the stereotypes, the histories that were not told by us about our people and about our way of life, and just sort of trying to ensure that those truths are uncovered and consistently portrayed in our spaces is really, really important. And so we're able to do that through, funding that we receive through government grants, but a lot of our funding has to rely on self-generated revenue. So through ticket sales, through our galleries, through our events, as well as people participate in our tour program, and obviously we rely on the generous donations we receive every year from individuals and organizations to ensure that we're able to provide the programming to our communities, but as well as to educate the general public.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to go to the Woodland Cultural Center, you said that you're not open at this time, but can we see you online? How can we reach you?
Yeah, so the school itself is not open, but the museum and galleries, we are now open. We have limited visitors that are able to be on site because of COVID restrictions, but we are open, and you can pre-book on our website at woodlandculturalcenter.ca. And you can also go to our website where you'll see our events and virtual tours that we offer. We offer public guided virtual tours of the school because it is closed twice a month, and those sell out pretty fast. But we also have a tour program where you can just email tours@woodlandculturalcenter.ca and request a tour for your organization or even your family and friends if you want to come together and take a tour. And we're just in the final stages of being able to offer virtual tours of our museum, as well as some new digital workshops, so people can participate in truth and reconciliation, land claims, our sustenance, and traditional games and traditional music and dance. So those workshops are being developed as we transfer a lot of what our in-person activities are to a digital format. We anticipate not providing guided tours to the public until January of next year.
Okay, Fantastic. Oh, and when are those orange t-shirts going to be available again?
It is the question of the day. I don't know how many of you know this, but there is an orange shirt shortage in this country, actually in North America. So our supplier, we partner with Adidas as well, and they are also trying very, very hard. But we are sold out, and we are sold out for all of our pre-orders, unfortunately. But we do have black and white. They're Black Save the Evidence shirts or White Save the Evidence shirts that you can also purchase, and all those funds go towards the campaign as well.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Janice, and we hope to see you again soon and in person, hopefully.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
you.
Now we'll go.
Thank you so much, Janice, and thank you so much, Natalie, for spending time with the Woodland Center. Now we have a wonderful woman. She's a storyteller, but much more than that. She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She's also Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi. She's band member of the Shawana First Nation and more, and very committed in our community. She will do some singing, some drumming, and some sharing also.
Anin bonjour everybody. Sego tanse kwe kinawea. Mishike and dodem. Shkudenigan wa waskonen Indigenous Shawanaga and Dunji, Anishinaabe Kwe, Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and I bring greetings in the language of my ancestors. And I'm really, really honored to be here. Miigwech Diane for introducing me in such a good way. And also I want to thank Catherine for the beautiful land acknowledgement. I too want to acknowledge the treaty and traditional territories of the Mississaugas of the Credit. I'm here at this amazing exhibit, and I am known as head or leader of the Fire Flower. I carry that name and have for many years now. I'm Turtle Clan. I come from a small community called Shawanaga First Nations, and it's an Anishinaabe community, but I also have Potawatomi in my background. And I was asked to come and speak tonight in a good way with a good heart and a good mind about this exhibit and our connections to it, our understandings about that. And as I think about who I am and where I am and the surroundings that are around me here, it takes my breath away. It's absolutely incredible. And I invite you to take time to look at each and every one of these beautiful works of art. Each artist has put their heart into a tangible format that we can digest in terms of storytelling, in terms of connection, in terms of representation about who we are as Indigenous people in this country. We're coming through a time that a lot of people are referring to as this moment of reconciliation. So what is that? What does that mean? What's the intention behind it? And who should be speaking about that? Well, artists have a really great way of introducing not only what the path of reconciliation can be, but also what connections and relationships should be. As you sit with us tonight, and I'm so happy that you're here with us tonight, I encourage you to open up your heart space and listen with your heart. When we speak, oftentimes people in the Western world will put on their thinking hat and think with their brains, and that's the place of ego and judgment. And tonight we want to be inclusive. We want to feel these works of arts. We don't want to think about what they're trying to say. We want to absorb the heartfelt connection that is depicted in each and every piece of artwork. We're so lucky to have some artists to speak tonight about their works of art. But think about the title of this exhibit, Wisdom of Kinship. Wisdom of kinship. It automatically brings us back to who we are, where we come from. So in that introduction I did, introducing who I am and where I come from, I'm inviting you to slow down. I'm inviting you to remember who you are. I'm inviting you to bring forth your ancestral bloodline and wisdom in this process, in this moment, in this connection. I'm inviting you to hold space in this present tense, and I'm inviting you to develop some seeds for those that'll come after us, because we bring things full circle in our understanding and in our relationship to the world around us. And so as we think about that today, I want to bring our hearts and minds together, and I want to invite you to think about that first order of creation. That first order of creation is all of the sands, the soils, the clays, the gravels, the rocks, the stone beings, and the mountains. Now these are the most ancient beings on earth. These are the ones that hold our beautiful Earth Mother together. They are the ones that are so old. We call them grandmothers and grandfathers. And as we wrap our minds around that, we wrap our hearts around that, maybe we even wrap our arms around that, it would make sense that we'd want to bring our hearts and minds together and give them greetings and thanks. Those beautiful beings have taught us about resilience. They are the ones that open up their arms to receive the bodies of our ancestors. When we cross over, we become grains of sand on that beach of change, but we also become grains of sand that is memory holding. Memories are forever. Memories are part of our stories. And in this exhibit, we're experiencing stories in a visual narrative that is digestible, that is challenging, that is moving, that is definitely connective. And so as we think about that first order of creation in those grandmothers and grandfathers, that is your first order of kinship. That's where wisdom resides. That is the space and place that we connect our hearts to. And when we want to know about the past, we simply need to spend time with them. So if you haven't done this yet, and it's been a beautiful summer so far, so I can't imagine why you haven't, go, take your shoes off, get outdoors, and walk on the faces of your ancestors. If you've been here for a generation or more, chances are your ancestors are helping to build up that space and place we call the grandmothers and grandfathers. Let that sand trickle over your feet, through your hands. Find a special stone, hold it, talk to it, connect to it. Listen to the messages that come from those beautiful stone beings. We have an artist here tonight who goes to visit them almost on a daily basis, and she posts these beautiful heart stones everywhere she goes. I don't know how she finds them on a daily basis, but she does. And every time I see one, I pause and look at that picture and think, oh my gosh, what's the message today? How much medicine is that for our hearts? It's such a beautiful thing. Barb Nawagabo is an amazing artist who does this in so many ways. Her eyes are so keen, her heart is so open, and her connections are so solid. When I think about the second order of creation, we're talking about the grasses, the shrubs, the trees, the bushes, the hardwoods, the softwoods, the berries, the hanging fruits, and all of the medicines. Now these beautiful beings, they wrap their roots around those grandmothers and grandfathers. That's where they draw up their strength from. That's how they steady themselves and find harmony and balance. They are the ones who sacrifice for us on a daily basis. They're the ones who fill our bellies when we're hungry. They are the ones who heal our bodies when we're not well. They are the ones who provide protection from the elements and beauty for our senses. They are the ones that have given me my namesake, head or leader of the fire flower. And on this day, it is my honor, it's a privilege to give them greetings and thanks. And I invite you to join me in that process. Take time to look around you. Take time to connect to that kin. They are older than us. They are wiser than us. They are helpers to us, and they're also teachers. So if you're trying to develop relationships, you need to spend time in the natural world. Go stand next to one of those beautiful, tall, standing beings. Give them a hug. Yes, be a tree hugger. Tell them your secrets. They're safe there. Enjoy the shade. The amazing fresh air that's under a tree is undeniable. The quality of oxygen is huge. We breathe out, they breathe in. They breathe out, and we breathe in. What a beautiful, harmonious relationship. How special is that? They're gifting us on a daily basis. And we should be gifting them as well, right? With our greetings and thanks. The third order of creation would be all of the swimmers, the crawlers, the flyers, the two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, those that live up in the sky world and those that live beneath the earth. When we think about those beings, we're referring to our elder brothers and sisters. We're referring to those that came long before us. We're referring to those who sacrifice on a daily basis for our well-being. They give up their lives for us according to their original instructions. They give us lots of teachings about, how to navigate this earth and how to be kind to the earth and all the beings who share it. They understand what kinship is. Through their wisdom and knowledge, we can pick that up as well. They never take more than they need. They are always here to accept our secrets, our stories, our tears, even our celebrations. They bear witness to the way that we navigate our life walk. They are amazing beings. They're powerful, and they're ancient. Those first 3 orders of creation came long before us. And they're the ones that we, the babies on the earth, the 4th order of creation, should turn to when we're looking for kinship, belonging, wisdom, knowledge, health. All of the things that help us to live a good, long life come from those first 3 orders of creation. So when you're looking at finding your harmony and balance, that's where you need to go. When you're looking at making sense of what your life walk is, go and ask them to help guide you. Ask them to help you. Ask them to support you, to bear witness to the good choices that you make on a daily basis. And while you're out there, be sure to say thanks. Take a walk on a daily basis. In this time of COVID, where we're feeling so locked down and so restrained, they have carried on and they've thrived. They've done really well. We could learn from that. We could take a message from that. We could do the same. So get out there, walk. Put your mouth on pause and use your eyes. Use your nose, use your ears. Use your heart and see what you feel while you're out there. Develop those connections, honor those connections, acknowledge those connections in all of the good ways that you can, and share that with those around you. This is the way that we develop an understanding about the world around us. This is the way we honor our ties to others. And a lot of time when people think about kinship, they're only thinking about human beings, but there are more than human beings on this planet. The unseen world and the seen world are equal in the Anishinaabe way of knowing. And so I challenge you and encourage you, if you haven't thought about it in that way before, to perhaps embrace that way of knowing, that understanding. Stretch your mental birdcage. Get to know the world around you. And then with those new eyes, that new awareness, that new way of knowing, when you take a look at an exhibit like this, you're going to see things. You're going to hear things. You're going to know things. It's going to be a very complex, I guess, experience for you in a way that's not just, oh, I think this is. Don't think, feel. Open your heart, open your mind, and just relax. Absorb what it is that you are seeing and find a place for that in your own heart. And as you listen to the stories of the artists tonight, embrace what triggered them. Artists are so generous. They always leave room for our own interpretations and connections. So I look forward to perhaps hearing what yours are, and I hope you'll share that with the gallery. I also want to remind you that 30% of the proceeds from this exhibit will be going to the Woodland Cultural Center, which is a very important space and place that honors the memories of all those children that have gone on before us. We can't hold an event today without speaking about those children. It's my honor to take a moment right now to acknowledge them. It's been an honor to stand in front of this camera tonight and share with you a little bit of our way of knowing and perhaps how to approach a relationship to the idea of what wisdom of kinship might mean. Such a remarkable title, such a remarkable exhibit, and such a remarkable opportunity for me to be here. I want to offer a song. I want to honor you. I want to honor your ancestors. I want to honor our descendants. I want to honor the artists. And I want to honor the gift of all the things that are visually depicted around me at this time. And to say miigwech to each and every one of you for sitting with me on this night, for joining us on this journey. And for those that weren't able to join us, please share this message. Encourage them to come back and take a look at it, because I'm sure it's being recorded so you can revisit it. I'm going to challenge you to think about what could find a place in your home, or perhaps as a gift to somebody as well. These deserve a beautiful, loving space and place to reside in, and I'm sure each and every one of you can think of some place to put something. So as I sing this song, I want you to pause. I want you to think about who you are and why you joined tonight. I want you to think about what relationships are and where those can lead you, and how they help to really flesh out a good life. Because that's what we're looking for at the end of the day, B'madzwin, Pamadzoin is the good life, that good red road. And I want to wish that for each and every one of you. It's said that there are 3 things that you can wish without consequence: peace of mind, good long life, and good health. And I send those wishes to each and every one of you on this night. I'm going to ask my microphone holder to come and hold the mic for me. And I'm going to sing an honor song for you. And as I do that, I invite you to close your eyes for a minute, get still, and picture those first 3 orders of creation. Go through your memory banks. What experiences do you have? What words have you spoken to them? What feelings have you held about them? And if you can't recall them, maybe you need to revisit them. But if you can, give thanks. Oh, miigwech. All righty. I brought my DeWay gun, my beautiful drum. And I'm going to sing an honor song. It's called the Unity Song. I sing it often. But I think it's a good song to sing because it connects us. And it connects all those things I was talking about. So remember, take this journey, close your eyes, listen to the music, receive the song medicine, and do your best to be a meaningful contributor on this night.
Oh
Miigwech, Grandmother Kim, for sharing all your wisdom, your kindness, your love. It's amazing, and thank you for being here for this special event today to encourage all these wonderful artists also. And it's always a pleasure to have you, because for me, your family and sharing all your knowledge, I learn all the time, even at my age, you know.
We're all connected. We're all connected. There's so much love.
Yes.
To each and every one of you.
So right now, what are we going to do? There's part in the gallery. I will invite Barb to come and walk with me. We're going to go and see her artwork, beautiful artwork. And I'm going to invite her to share with us how she gets so creative and what is the thing that triggered her. So follow me, and after that, we're going to go with Diane, also green-brown. And we're going to go back also with Natalie, because she also have online some other wonderful artists. So we're going to go to the place where Barb has her wonderful work down here. So Barb Nawegabo is Ojibwe, and she's born and raised on the Whitefish River First Nation, Manitou Island. And Barb, you know, I know you for a few years now. You always amaze me, that connection, and recently I have seen wonderful picture that you do. You're so connected with the land, and I want you to share with the people that don't know you.
My name is Barb Nawegabo. I am Wolf Clan from Whitefish River First Nation. I'm Anishinaabe. I come from a huge family of 11. My mom was busy. So was my dad. So that's where I grew up. And the last year and a half since the pandemic started, I've really begun to reconnect with the land again. And it's amazing what I have found in Toronto. And actually, one of the teachings that I received on my walks is that land is land is land. It doesn't matter if it's on the reserve, out in the country, or in the city. It's all land.
So what kind of thing inspires you when you pick one stone and the other one? Is there something that triggers
Well,
you?
let me just talk about the collection,
Yeah.
the series. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I lost a very dear friend, very loved friend. And that's when I really started to think about death once again, because she was so close to me. And the day after she died, I was laying in bed, just completely bereft. I was crying, and I said, "Can you come back and let me know that you're okay? That's all I want to know." And sure enough, that night I did have a dream. She came to visit and showed me where she was. And she was with another really good friend of mine who had passed a few months before her. So I started to think about life and death and love. And love never dies.
Sure.
Love never dies. The love of friends and family, the ancestors, always with us, always. And so that's why I designed these necklaces with skulls and hearts. There's a little heart there. And the one that I'm wearing actually has a big heart and a little skull. So that death really inspired me. And I get so much comfort from knowing that my mom and dad are with me. I talk to them every day. My nephews, I have 2 nephews who've passed. I have a brother who passed. And I talk to them every single day. And they talk to me as well. I get messages from them. And it's nurturing and it's very comforting.
Well, we could see so much beauty in the work that you do, and we could see the connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reflection of the beauty that you're so much in tune on what you're doing. There's a difference between thinking with the head and thinking with the heart, and I know from what you do, you are connecting with your heart. And I'm so grateful, and I say miigwech to you for your sharing, because I know sometimes they're not easy to share when we lose people that needs to go to the ancestral land. But thank you so much for taking the time to share with us. And I encourage every people to come and really purchase one of your work because they're exquisite. So miigwech.
It's a privilege to be part of this exhibition.
Thank you. I will now go and walk in the direction of the painting of Diane Green Brown, and we'll talk with her today on her exhibition and the nice piece that she has chosen. Diane, I'm so honored also to have you here. I've seen previous work that you did, and I never had a chance to meet with you. I know your heritage is Cree also, and I would like to tell people, if you want to take your mask, you're okay, to share with people what inspired you, because you have so much shape and form and colors and vibrance and everything.
Actually, it's very similar to Barb. My father's Cree from Winnipeg, went through residential schools, so the charity that we're donating the extra funds to is very near and dear. He couldn't experience his culture and tried in little bits to have us exposed to it or enjoy it and experience it. And after his passing, I started to paint in this way. I painted completely different and started to see things in my images in my mind, and vibrant colors, and the different ones are experiences that are very close to me. So each painting is really part of my soul, my spirit. This particular painting was after my oldest son's first sunrise ceremony. So it gathered everything together on the drum that we experienced and he experienced. And I like to use bold colors to make it very powerful.
Yes.
So each one has like a very special meaning to me. This one is actually, I just finished it, and it's reconnecting to the new beginnings of everyone joining together and truth and reconciliation and reconnecting to each other.
Your work is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I feel very honored that your work also is part of this exhibition, The Wisdom of Kinship. It has its place down here, and I always invite people, come down, come and see this exhibition. It is beautiful.
I'm very honored.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your experience. Very well appreciated. Now we're going to go online because I know we have Natalie there, and she will interview a few artists also. And when we're going to be done with the interview online, I will be walking around in the gallery to show you the amazing work and talented Indigenous artists. So Natalie, it is your time now.
Miigwech, Diane, miigwech, and miigwech, Grandmother Kim, too. It's always a pleasure hearing your powerful voice, and it's been far too long. So miigwech, thank you. What a treat. Yes, the first artist I would like to speak to, I don't know if we can go to the artwork, Diane, to Ella's artwork. You know, it's amazing that I was able to also speak to Janice at the Woodland Cultural Center. When I saw your piece, you know, it was very raw and very emotional for me to witness as an artwork. And so I want to talk about that, but I also, as somebody who is reclaiming my cultural identity, and in just learning the language, I know that as an Inuit, you express your culture through different ways in language. And I was wondering if maybe you would like to share a little bit about that before we get into your artwork.
Sure. Atili, hi. Hello, Vunga. I'm coming to you tonight from the Nonotuck lands, Nakamaswak, for allowing me the opportunity to show here with these awesome group of artists. It is an honor. And Nutuk Illinois Vunga. Happy Valley Goose Bay me in Olo Sumayo Vunga. And Nanaga is from Hopedale and she's here tonight. Gallery Galaxy A11. Wave hi, Mom. She's there, she's waving.
Hi,
Great.
Mom.
And Anatatsiaga. Atatsiaga is from Hebron. Anatiaga is from Nain. So what I just said was, hello, my name is Ella. I'm a guest in the land of the Nonotuck people. I'm relearning my first language. I was born in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. It is customary to introduce my family. My mom is from Hopedale, and she survived 8 years of residential boarding school. And I wear this pin for her that I made. My grandfather is from Hebron, and he was forced to relocate in 1959. My grandmother is from Nain, and she was a fabulous basket weaver. And so my relatives come from the 3 of the 5 communities of Nunasiavut, recognized in the Labrador Inuit Land Claims Agreement. So I'm just gonna give a quick history, if that's okay.
Sure.
I'm a teacher and a writer and a journalist. So this is like what I do.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So, oh, good. Thank you. I just, so Nunasiavut Government, also known as Nunasiavut Government, is independently run and collaborates with the provincial government of Newfoundland and Labrador. We have a president and 7 departments. I'm a Nunasiavut Government beneficiary. So tonight I speak for myself and what I know. Please feel free to meet and learn from other Inuit, as there are about 65,000 of us across Canada. And Inuit means the people, and Inuk is 1. Inuit is 3 or more. We don't use the derogatory term Eskimos, despite what the old movies say. Like the Edmonton football team changed their name to the Edmonton Elks this past year. So continuing on, there are 51 Inuit communities in Inuit Nunavut, and we live in cities too. Toronto has a great Inuit population, and you can find the Toronto Inuit Association on Facebook. And so Mom goes to their events, my brother too. They both live in Toronto. And then Ottawa has a big population. They have 2 organizations that I know of, TI, I forget how to say this word, Tunga Savukit and Inuit. And I attend their Zoom group, so I should really know how to say it. Sorry. And Inuit Tapiri Kanatami, ITK, which is the Inuit National Inuit Organization of Canada, and I write for their magazine. Other organizations I mentioned can give you more information, and you can find them online, or I can just send you the links. So, I don't know. I did want to take a moment and recognize this famous Inuk artist just passed away last week. Her name is Peta Lucy Sella, and she did over 14,000 prints and over 14,000 drawings and over 160 prints in her lifetime. And she was on the 2020 Cape Dorset calendar for the month of July called Tattooed Sun. And it's right here. So I just have to acknowledge her. She's the cover, but just acknowledge her because she just passed. So anyway, so the digital print I made is because it shows Nunasiavut is 3 colors, green, white, and blue. And so everything my atigi I'm wearing is green, white, and blue. And so showing the land and the water, but it's also the crosses to symbolize the churches and the blood that they caused to spill out. And so it's being discovered, and the remains being found now, and every child matters. And that's what the Inuktitut words are. Elanontak Segusit Ekanatut. Every child matters, it's literally. And so you can find online, and being the journalist that I am, I found the Indian Country Today, July 18th article, or the list of 48 books by Indigenous authors you can read about residential boarding schools. NFB.ca has movies right there ready to be shown. So I'm not the only one expressing the pain of what's going on. It's really a big deal. And so to be able to show it in Toronto, where my family is, and have it be seen as important part of today, because we're in the middle of history being made. So I'm just really glad to participate. I don't remember the question.
That's okay. You've done a great job answering. Thank you so much.
I hope that helps.
Yes.
And I want to thank my friends and family for showing up. It's so good to see them. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Ella. Thank you, friends and family, for showing up for Ella. That's awesome. Yeah, and I want to, by the way, as a sidebar, apologize to any of the language speakers during my introduction if I messed up words too. So you know what? I think it's great to get this kind of gathering. Even online, imagine like even a few years ago, we couldn't have done this. So to be able to get the learning and the teachings from all these different groups that exist across Canada, it's not just one First Nations or one Inuit, or even Métis. There are so many different dialects and different cultural groups. So it's important to talk about that and to share that. So thank you so much, Ella, for being here with us. So next, who are we going to go to? I believe is Asinase, and I hope I said that right.
No.
No?
No.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Correct me, please. Correct me, please.
Asanase.
Asanase. Okay, so I put the
Asanase.
wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Not a problem.
Okay. So if we can go over to say it again, please.
Asanase.
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 Asanase. I'm going to get it right. I promise. Asanase. I've known you for such a long time. I should know this. Yeah. So, one of the things that I notice in your work is the humor. And I know that humor is a big thing with Métis culture and a lot of the Anishinaabe. And, you do a lot of figurative paintings, and yes, that's kin. So why don't you tell me about your work here? Because I see a lot of work that, is some of it's tongue in cheek, some of it is, I don't want to say satirical, sarcastic in a way, maybe a little bit, So yeah, go ahead. You do the talking about your work.
Well, you're right about the humor. I mean, I grew up in a family where we used humor as a way of dealing with, situations that weren't always pleasant. And I think that's something that's common to all Indigenous people, is we have this sense of humor. It's almost a Black sense of humor, where we look at a situation and it could be terrible, but we'll think of some joke or some funny side of it just to get us through it. So my family was, very much like this. We were always cracking jokes, and we were always teasing each other and making fun of each other. And, as a result, I developed this worldview, let's call it, that allowed me to look at different things and to see connections and because of my personality, I suppose, and you could probably know, more about this than I would. I always find something that's a little strange or a little funny about it. Yeah. So most of these paintings, pretty much everything that I paint is about the relationship. So it'll be about a relationship of, if there's more than one person in the painting, it's a relationship that these two people have or these three people have. If there's a single person, it's their relationship with some other element within the painting. If the figure is actually looking at you, I'm trying to create that relationship. Now, depending on the facial expression, depending upon gestures, there could be a joke going on in there. There may be something that I find funny, maybe another Indigenous person may find funny, but somebody who's out of the group may not, but it's still there. There's still this relationship and this sense of humor. And most of my paintings are like that. I deal with difficult subjects, sometimes in a humorous way. Occasionally, I'll deal with a more serious subject, such as residential schools, in a less humorous way, of course. But there is sort of I don't want to say shock value, but I'm trying to send these emotions out to you. All of my relatives have gone to residential school. I am the only generation who hasn't. So I have these stories that I carry from my relatives. And while they're their stories, I do not repeat them, but they do affect the way that I view the world, the way I view Canada, and it comes out in my artwork. Like, as I tell everybody, my artwork is an accumulation of who I am, my history, my personality, and the stories that I carry.
Mm-hmm. And that's so important, to be able to share those stories and to be able to tell stories, especially through artwork as an artist. I've seen some of the work that you've done. I think the first time I saw your work was a show at the Woodland Cultural Center. So I know the piece that you're talking about with, the residential school piece with the priest hovering with the shadow, and it was very dark and ominous. But it wasn't, it wasn't like one of those shocking, kind of obvious, kind of made for TV kind of. It was done really, really, really well. It was a very sophisticated piece, to be able to do something that gripped the heart, and really told you the truth right there. So that was well done. How did working with the Woodland Cultural Center, what kind of effect did that have for you? In given the fact that your family has gone to residential school and that you do carry these stories, how is that relationship? Has it helped?
Actually, it has very much. Like, I'll give you a little bit of background. My family's from Kahnawake, which is a community across the river from Montreal. I moved away when I was 3. My father wanted to, I have different stories. I'm not quite sure if they're true, but let's just say we moved out of the reserve during the 60s for particular reasons. And although I kept a very close connection with my community, my father would send me to Kahnawake, up until I was about 12 or 13. I didn't want to go anymore, but I would spend all summer there with my my Dada, my grandmother, my aunties, my uncles. So I had a huge taste of the culture. As I got older, you're a teenager, you want to do your own things. You don't want to go back. You don't want to, So I sort of developed my own life away from the reserve, away from the community. And when I started exhibiting with the Woodland Cultural Center and started to participate a lot more with them, I had this very strong sense of coming home. It was almost the same as going back to Kahnawake. As an adult, I go there during powwow. I go, for holidays when I can. I like to visit my relatives, and there's a special feeling that I have that I can't duplicate unless I go to the Woodland Cultural Center. The people, they remind me of my relatives. So I have this close connection with the people and the place.
Miigwech, my friend, miigwech.
Hmm.
So I don't know who we have. Wes, did you want to speak about your piece at all? You've done some beautiful carvings that I've been looking at online for quite a while, and I keep wanting to try to get to see them in person. And hopefully now that this COVID thing is almost over, I will be able to come and see them in person and meet you in person. I've admired your work for quite some time now, so I would love for you to speak about it if you'd like.
Sure. Most of my moose antler carvings, I color them with burning instead of paint and stain. Some I give them like a 2-dimension. It's whatever is in my head. If I carve a moose antler, I have to actually stare at that moose antler for a week and a half before it comes to me what it's going to be. And lately, I've been doing a lot of forging with copper and steel. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a feather on the wall.
Yep.
The main body of that feather is copper, and the spine is steel.
Nice.
And in order to wrap it around itself, it has to be almost white hot. So like it's hot work. It's forging. And the colors I get from those feathers and the copper, I use a torch to bring out those colors. And sometimes my wife has to come out and tell me, hey, it looks really good. Stop coloring it, because I'll just keep going until it matches what's in my head, right?
Uh-huh.
No, I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I really, really do.
Awesome. What do the materials mean to you? Like, do you have a special connection that you would like to talk about with the various materials that you use?
So in that, the eagle, the carving, there's a Sleeping Beauty turquoise I inlaid in the bottom. I sourced them by trading the antler and the stones. Usually the hunters want something they can use when they go hunting, so I came up with knives. And so I trade my knives that I make for more moose antler for their trophies. Sometimes it's really hard to get them to part with those trophies, but a sharp knife will do it. Yeah, and for the copper, it's the I like the energy that's in the copper. It's very, very strong, and the colors, I can't get over the colors. Every one of them is completely different. It just amazes me the colors I get from them, and I love it when other people love it.
Well, we certainly do, and I want to thank you for being part of this exhibition. Thank you.
No, miigwech.
Miigwech to you. Does anybody have any questions to ask, either to myself or Diane or any of the artists who have spoken with us?
Hi, I have a question.
Sure. Hi, Pam.
Hi. This is a work-related question, and I'm wondering if anyone there can help me with this. It's related to kinship and community. I'm a non-Indigenous person, a settler from another part of the world, and I'm working with a client who believes that they may be Indigenous but isn't sure. They live with some pretty complex mental health issues. They have a tremendous amount of strengths. He's a big fan and passionate about woodwork and nature. And I don't know, he doesn't know his Indigenous status, and neither do I, but I'm wondering if any of the presenters today could give me some feedback or advice about how to work with him, because in a because I won't be able to connect with him from an Indigenous perspective, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but how to connect with him so he can appreciate his strengths and what he brings to the world and how that informs relationships, the kinship and the community, because he truly feels like he doesn't belong and that people don't want him around.
That's a pretty large question. I'm not sure that we can really address it within the context of an art exhibition at this point. However, what I would suggest, but
yeah.
I understand, but you're talking about a fairly huge process in reconnecting and you know, and it's not just about the art, it's about the person, about identity, about all kinds of things. What I would suggest is that the person connect with a cultural center of some kind, whether it is Anishinaabe or Haudenosaunee, whatever, whoever is closest in the area, and the people there at a friendship center, for example, if there's a friendship center around, speak to them and they will better be able to help him and guide him in a good way. Okay, that's the best advice I could give to you within the context of this exhibition. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Yes, it does. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Natalie. It has been wonderful. You had 3 great artists that we know better now. We're going to go around in the gallery because there's unfortunately some artists that cannot be with us online or in the gallery, but I still want to introduce because their work is wonderful also. We're going to start here by this one. This is done by Isaac Weber. And he's Anishinaabe also, and there's few pieces down here, and for me butterfly is like a renewal of yourself, so it's beautiful artwork. And again, encourage some of our artists down here. They did this show in the knowledge and the wisdom of wanting to share their story and how do they work and everything. So, and again, there's 30% that go to the Woodland Center. So try to encourage our artists from the Indigenous community also. The next one is also done by Isaac. It's one of the beautiful pieces for me in my teaching. The deer is walking with sweetness and gentleness, but is also a process of reference of healing also. So this is a magnificent piece of work. He's an amazing artist, and you have to really come and be part of the gallery to really walk around. It's very impressive. We're gonna go on the other side down here, and this one is by Isaac again. So Isaac has 3 beautiful pieces down here. Should be very proud to be able to exhibit in this gallery. And you know, all the artists that are here always step up to move to other exhibition and everything. So these are wonderful pieces of work for or home or gift or even offices and everything. So you could share the story. I see so many things in this one. I see fish, I see people, I see many different things, and I'm sure if Isaac shared his story, he would probably see different things. We're gonna move and see also Destiny, beautiful artist, and she has a lot of shape and form and colors, and it goes with every design, every decor. She's also Anishinaabe, and I want to encourage her. I know she's a wonderful person also to do poem. She's an amazing writer also. So this is the world of Destiny and shape and form. So there's face, there's animal that I see. So again, it's beautiful work, Destiny. Yes, thank you so much for reminding me. It is Destiny Whitley, Destiny Ray Whitley. And it is a daughter of Grandmother Kim Whitley also. So we're gonna go with Pam. Pam is Algonquin, and she's from the Ottawa area. Pam has been doing a lot of great work also. She really understands the sacredness of things. Her artwork also exhibit at different gallery in the Ottawa area, and the city of Ottawa has honored Pam to have one of her painting exhibit, so everybody from the street and the town could see her painting. Pam, you're amazing. It speaks a lot by the shape and form again of the color. Thank you so much for being part of this exhibition. We have here 3 wonderful, one is the moose, one is the amik, and the other one is bravery, sorry. And these one are done by Donald Chrétien, and they're beautiful, and I believe that he is Ojibwe. So he has his signature, he has his stamp. These are beautiful picture work of art and love of what he does to represent the kind of person that he is. And you know, everything comes with teachings and stories. So these are great format also. They're 14 by 17, and the price is amazing, including all the frame and everything. We also have Métis artists on here, and this one is Deb Malcolm. Beautiful design, the beadwork. In our culture, the beadwork also represent the Métis, the dot represent the beadwork that we do. And sometimes we also recognize as the flower people also. So she had done a lot of custom order for people also all over Canada and out of Canada also. And I'm very grateful for her that she has been exhibiting in the gallery with us also. We have one of our last pieces, it's a picture. This one is done with Lisa McIntosh. She's Abenaki, so she's from Quebec. So this evening I heard about Ganawage and Abenaki, so it's all Quebec. So that is my neighborhood, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture, and she is very well gifted also. Again, thank you to all of you that have been able to be part of our tonight event. We had the honor and the privilege in this exhibition to have Natalie Burton. And again, Natalie has contributed a lot to this exhibition with me in collaboration. And again, she's an amazing juror. She's a multidisciplinary artist and a knowledge carrier. And if you Google her name, you will see Natalie in many different exhibitions. She's a blessed artist, and thank you again, Natalie, for all the work being with us. We're very grateful and honored that you have been working with Artists Network and Leslie Grove Gallery. Now again, encourage our artists. They have beautiful and lovely work down here. You would have a piece of their work at home or your office, and the profit goes also to the Woodland Center. So you honor an artist, you honor the Woodland Center, and you honor all the donation that Leslie Grove Gallery give. They don't take any profit of this exhibition. It's to really work the wisdom of kinship. They're allies, and I'm very grateful of the blessing that they honor me to be able to do this exhibition. But let me tell you this project has been started a couple of months ago. We talked about it. It took many emails and many Zoom meetings to be able to agree on certain things. Artists Network, again, thank you so much for your true collaboration and friendship. To all the board member, the education also member, and the Leslie Grove, always there to help someone to direct where the question is. So again, I say Chimigwech. And we have a gift. Grandmother Kim told me that she would like to close the circle by offering you a wonderful singing with drumming again. So we are blessed by having her voice again singing for us. Yes.
Let's show something a little different here. So, Anin Bojo again. Hope you enjoyed yourself with us this evening. We had some amazing talks. Congratulations to each and every one of the artists. This was truly an honor to hold space with you tonight and to hear your heart speak. I hope it's inspired you enough to come on down and take a look in person. Oh, it's amazing, and it's certainly worth the trip. And I want to congratulate you, Diane, on your hard work in encouraging people to come together in this way. You know, representation on public stages is not frequent enough for Indigenous artists. And so if you can take this time, at this time, to come and support with a visit, to come and support with your pocketbook, to spread the word and encourage others to come, it can only do good. The Woodlands Cultural Centre is doing their best to try and help tell our stories. And of course, did you mention that you're having something next week as well?
Yes, you and I are online on the 11th. Please come and join us. We have a lot of interesting to share with you. It's an honor and a pleasure again to be with you. It's always a blessing for me to have you, and for being ally with us like this and understanding so much beauty by your wisdom. I'm so grateful. Miigwech.
Teamwork makes the dream work. So I want to close up in a good way with a good heart and a good mind. We have spoken lots today. Now it's your time to speak on our behalf. We can't reach everybody, but we're trusting that you'll reach out to your contacts, your networks, and spread the word. Please share profusely. I'm going to close up with a song. I think I'm going to sing Wildflower. I'm looking at much of the artwork around here, and I'm inspired by the natural world always, because they are our kin, as I spoke about earlier. And I want to honor each and every one of you. Miigwech. Miigwech. Miigwech to everybody. This is Wildflower. Hey, 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 amazing night. Everybody be well, be safe, stay connected, and spread the word.
Chimigwach, Grandmother Kim. To all the artists, the people that could join us tonight, Chimigwach, to all of you. Natalie, you have been a blessing for us for this exhibition. There's 1,000 unfolding for you. Really appreciate your support. Artist Network, thank you so much for the team working, the love, the understanding that you have exhibit some of our people in your gallery. And bless all the rest of your evening. Chimigwach.